Mariana Bezuhla quite directly and harshly accused the Ukrainian president of absolute lies. She asserted that these falsehoods are being disseminated due to his actions or possibly as a result of distorted and inaccurate information circulating under his purview. According to Mariana Bezuhla, this concerns the operational situation in the Pokrovsk agglomeration, specifically the city of Pokrovsk and Mirnograd. You can see and feel that these topics are not disappearing from the information field, but quite the opposite. Information-wise, the situation is primarily worsening significantly. And this accusation against Zelensky regarding his alleged deceit comes on top of what I consider to be an already formidable wave of criticism that has relentlessly continued to surge over the past week without any sign of abating. Butusov called the landing of troops by the Defense Intelligence of Ukraine, the main intelligence directorate, an absolute circus. There's a response to that, which I'll discuss today. Coming specifically from Budanov and his team. From the former Deputy Minister of Defense, Deinega, I previously discussed this, who is now demanding without delay and putting aside emotions and mutual accusations that an operation be carried out to withdraw the defense forces from the Pokrovsk agglomeration with the primary and singular goal of preserving servicemen's lives. Let's take it step by step. Regarding Bezuhla today, look, despite what opponents say, I deeply respect Zelensky, and he clearly possesses positive qualities, courage, resilience. He somehow manages to hold everything together, despite systemic issues, both his own and those historically inherent to us as a nation. But right now, the president is outright lying about the situation in Pokrovsk and Kupyansk. So what exactly has Volodymyr Zelensky stated regarding the situation unfolding in Pokrovsk and Kupyansk? Indeed, several declarations were made. According to Zelensky, the enemy has experienced no success in recent days. Within Pokrovsk itself, there are approximately 260 to 300 military personnel present, none of whom are currently cut off or surrounded. They are simply located there, and an operation by the main intelligence directorate and the 7th Corps of the Air Assault Forces is underway. You know, regarding the pushing out or the elimination of these occupiers who are within the Pokrovsk territory, which today is considered a gray zone, there's no doubt about it, based on official information from the General Staff. Regarding Kupyansk, yes, where Mariana Bezuhla is also accusing Zelensky of lying. Zelensky stated that there are currently about 60 occupiers in the city, and they are now trapped there. That is the information provided, which, quite frankly, people who are regarded as influential opinion leaders publicly do not currently believe in. Call her what you want, whether Mariana Bezuhla is a leader or not. Well, she has 28,000 subscribers on Telegram. So what? But a lot of people listen to and watch her. The same can be said about Butusov, the journalist who is fighting. The same can be said about Deinega, yes. The same can be stated about German observers like Julianne Whitaker, who says that, well, 85% of Pokrovsk, pardon me, but as of today, it is controlled by Russians. Julianne Whitaker is definitely chasing after hype, isn't he? The German publication Die Welt is considered a yellow press or tabloid accordingly. However, this person cites some of his own sources and presents invitation letters from the Ministry of Defense. This is a separate Russian Federation, a different narrative to invite someone there to film something. We are focusing more on the Ukrainian front. So, in response to this, whether you call it hate or hype, I'm really not sure what to label it at this point. The main intelligence directorate has released a video. It's a multi-minute video, which I won't be showing now. I'll just show one of the screenshots from it. Regarding the operation that is underway, it's crucial to understand that it is neither a clearing operation nor a deblocking one. It's called, and this is the official press release today from the main intelligence directorate, preventing expansion of fire influence. I'm not a military man. I can't decipher what that means from these words. But now, for the first time in a week, the Defense Intelligence of Ukraine is officially breaking its silence. This comes as accusations and criticism have been mounting against them concerning the delay in certain decisions and these so-called landing operations, which seem to be more a tool for information influence than actual practical aid. It is impossible to deblock a completely infiltrated city that has been like that since June, July, or May of 2025 and resolve a problem that has been developing for months into what it is now with just 2 landings of some troops. This is the main point of this criticism. And so the video appears. It contains helicopters, and a landing operation by troops was indeed carried out. The operations, once more, and this is a direct quotation, to prevent the expansion of fire influence are currently being carried out. However, for the sake of balance, since we're already examining the information field regarding Pokrovsk and who distrusts whom, I want to show you this kind of statement. Yes, this is Mariana Bezuhla. Apologies, not this one. The statement that pertains to, right, I didn't save it, so I'll simply read it aloud. So this outpouring of information actually comes from the Russian side of things. Today, Telegram channels affiliated with the Kremlin are publishing a story that suggests, well, these soldiers, the occupiers of the Russian Federation, are quite troubled by the disruption of the information silence regarding what they refer to as this city. Krasnoarmysk. So here's this statement from various sources aimed at the Kremlin-affiliated Telegram channels. We are courageously battling for this crucial city in the DPR. There have been advances, but when this information goes public, it brings disaster, leading to the demise of scores of soldiers. Please do not report anything. Protect our personnel. Another source states, we will definitely liberate the DPR, but we must not hurry. Do not pressure us and do not provide information to the enemy. The leaks have cost us the lives of at least 40 men in just the last few days. So 40 men, wouldn't you agree? This is the latest news from across the border regarding Krasnoarmysk and Pokrovsk. Accordingly, the losses are huge and they are public. Friends, this information isn't coming from foreign agents, but from Kremlin-affiliated Telegram channels, Z-blogs, and even Putin's administration, Kirienko, the Kremlin snuff box. 40 men, in other words, had their lives taken from them, and now this is being presented as wonderful news. So if someone like Mariana Bezuhla, for instance, accuses Volodymyr Zelensky of telling absolute lies, I'm not sure specifically what she's referring to. Perhaps she's not talking about the stabilization efforts, which, judging by these Russian sources, have been quite successful, but perhaps it concerns something else entirely. That the Russian advance is indeed being observed. This report does not originate from the general staff. It comes from DeepState, which often anticipates these developments, particularly regarding this informational silence and what you can or cannot report. You all use DEEP state. So this advance happened over the last 24 hours. We are seeing the gray zone transform into absolute control by the Russian side and southeast of Myrnohrad. Notice the substantial progress there. The Russians are also continuing to advance and secure additional positions near the city of Pokrovsk, specifically from the northern direction. This might be the situation being referred to. So where exactly is our Volodymyr Zelensky located today? Today, Volodymyr Zelensky is positioned extremely close to the front line. This is an official photograph that captures that very moment. This is a meeting at the headquarters, yes, at the headquarters of the 1st Corps of the National Guard of Ukraine, specifically the Azov Regiment today. He's meeting with military personnel on the Dobropillia front. I want to note that this is not far from the Pokrovsk agglomeration, and you all know about Dobropillia, how important it is from a logistical, defensive, tactical, and strategic point of view, Dobropillia as a settlement, and this whole direction accordingly deserves extreme attention. And now, attention, a question. If the situation in the city of Pokrovsk, in the Pokrovsk agglomeration, is stabilizing or even improving, if that aligns with today's official information statement, then why is so much attention being focused on Dobropillia today? Perhaps it's because the line of defense, or the area where the defense forces are meant to conduct an organized withdrawal, is situated exactly there. That's precisely why President Volodymyr Zelensky is present. So these aspects also require explanation. I believe that today there is a significant information deficit because when you access various unofficial yet highly credible media sources, all you encounter is widespread panic and mutual accusations of deceit. Muchny, a serviceman who is quite active on social media, writes, all of this reminds me of a sausage because the exit corridor is exceedingly narrow today. He writes this, yes, right now. The exit is through an opening that is very narrow. And it is very regrettable, he writes, for the fighters who are being openly and continually fed absolute lies, a noun I cannot utter because, well, this is YouTube, which will surely send strikes for it. But you grasp the depth of emotion in the current assessment given by the military personnel themselves. And then there's another significant development to consider. Today, actually, an official visit had already begun yesterday evening. Well, take note. Whitaker flew to Ukraine. It was his first time arriving by plane, and then he continued his journey by train. Whitaker, the US ambassador to NATO, the North Atlantic Alliance, made his first visit at this particular moment, arriving precisely as an extraordinary escalation of events is occurring in the Pokrovsk agglomeration. And the meeting with the president took place yesterday at 10 in the evening. Today, you can see there's a meeting with the cabinet of ministers. The Minister of Defense, Shmihal, is standing right there, and you won't find, and I want to emphasize this, you won't find any information anywhere that this meeting is dedicated to the escalating situation on certain sectors of the front, like Pokrovsk. And it is indeed acknowledged that 30% of all combat engagements today are taking place on the Pokrovsk front. 50% of the guided aerial bombs that hit the front line, that's Pokrovsk. Yes, the situation is indeed threatening. Well, officially, it's being reported that Whitaker arrived to discuss air defense systems, infrastructure, and the conclusion of the war. However, I harbor significant reservations regarding these claims. US ambassadors to NATO don't simply visit Kiev for the first time without a compelling reason. They just don't. That's indeed my strong opinion on the matter.